Track of the morning, deal Annies is Northern Lion. Trackmania track of the day. Let's see what people are saying about it today before we get in. Today is September the 6th. It's just scrolling. We're just scrolling. Is the thing I'm scrolling. And I am scrolling. Okay, here we go. Fun track. Fast track. I see a lot of my own face in some emotes here, but that's just give it a sec. Oh my god, there's so much scrolling, dude. There's so much scrolling. Here we go. Velp Mini 02. Gold is 24. Author is 21.8. Average review. Put it in the 6, I would say mid to high 6 range. Okay. Sorry, it took us a while to get going here. Excuse me. Oh, it's this track. We did pretty well on Friday. I'm not upset by that. Top 111 in the egg carton ain't too bad. But here we are on Sunday. Velp Mini 02. I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'm hip. I'm with it. Tucka, 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 tucka. Play alone. We got some GPS. GPS backwards. Yep. Just kidding. Alright, so you drive straight. You go over a ramp. You go over a ramp. You go over a ramp. Okay, it's very fast. Probably didn't need to lay off the throttle there, but this is our first run through, so don't get too upset. This is like... Okay, it's just... It's like a summer level track. We literally just got a gold on our sight read. Let's put on some ghosts. That's the first time that's ever happened. Let me put it that way. So I'm not saying the author medal's built in today, because you know, just because we did well doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna keep doing well. In the sense that, like, I don't know how easy it's gonna be for us to find 3 seconds we can pull away from this run. That is funny though. Certainly the best sight read I've ever had in this game. Well, I don't even know if the sight read was that good. Oh my god. Dude, okay, so the fact that it's full speed definitely means... Oh, why would you do it that way? Definitely means you can't afford... I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Banter's going to be kind of tough today. Because there's that one little section where if I don't go Salamanca, I think, you know, we went Salamanca, if you know what I mean. So hold on. Stay tight over here. It gives you the best chance of landing safely. Having some trouble getting my wheels straight there, but 23 seconds, huh? Don't get me wrong, the idea of having a track of the day... Ooh, grip it. Where we nail it on the first try and then never do better is innately quite humorous to me. I will admit it tickles the funny bone, as it were. However, let's not and say we did. Okay, we laid off the throttle, but we're not going to lay off the throttle here. Can't rattle there. You got to land on the inside edge. Well, this track already has a lot of things that I like. A very lenient gold medal time, perhaps chief amongst them. Following that, a very short runtime. It's not short like I want a limited amount of, you know, oh, I want the Trackmania videos to be shorter. It's not like that. It's just you get a much better chance. You know, you get many more opportunities in the lottery the more tickets you're able to buy. And a short run means a lot of tickets. Okay, so we got to figure out what's going on at the start of this one. That's where we're at right now. Like, this is no problem. Why are we rattling so much here? Why are we rattling so much there? I know you can air brake to stabilize. It's going to sound weird. It doesn't feel like it's working there. Maybe it totally is. I just wasn't leaning on it for long enough. Okay, you want to stay right side. Had to be done. But I think, honestly, if you pre-turn into that, you're going to go a little faster. This is the necessary calm before the storm. Like, that was solid. That was solid. Now keep it rolling. Slightest little pre-turn. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't know what to do with that kind of speed. I'm feeling like we got this one. We definitely have some knowledge in the bag here that sometimes I haven't had the awareness of this early on in a run. That's way too heavy on the pre-turn, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm doing well, by the way. Thank you for presumably asking. It's a Sunday. It is indeed the case. The Canucks' Cinderella playoff run did come to an end on Friday against a team that we must admit was superior. The fact that people, I don't know, it's easy to tell. I think I don't want to make this too hockey-ish, but it is the last hockey-tunity for a while for me, because I probably won't catch most of the rest of the games, because, I mean, look, I love hockey, all right, but when your team's in it, that's, you know, you watch the games. When they're not, you know, I might just look at the scores. Regardless. I got other things on the go, let's put it that way. But they were a much better team, pretty much throughout the whole series. You can tell a lot of people have not watched that many Canucks games recently, when they're like, that was a pitiful effort in Game 7. And I'm like, yeah, it was a pitiful effort in Game 6 as well. It was actually a pretty pitiful effort in Game 5, too. But I think a lot of people just didn't watch those because they were like, they're already going to get eliminated. It's like, yeah, the whole Canucks game plan, essentially, right now, you know, we're very much outskilled. So we rely on, you know, counterattacking and also our goalie just being, you know, a superhero. So, I didn't feel like Game 7 went that bad compared to the rest of the games in the series. I thought it was pretty much in character. Only way we were ever going to win was, you know, essentially a goaltending miracle. Even then, we almost kind of had it until the third period. But regardless, best of luck to all remaining NHL fans. I hope to see the team of Vegas lose. I do not wish their fans any ill will. The players on the team are the ones that I would like to suffer in a spiritual sense. I don't want them to get injured or anything like that. But if they could feel unfulfilled and like question themselves following the series with Dallas, that would be fine. I could live with that. Anyway, don't want to be too petty. Moving on. Just try to like complete the course again. We are getting a lot more consistent at this first part. It might seem like we're regressing, but I very much, I disagree. Little correction. If it weren't for the bump there, we would be fine. But I'm telling you, I don't think I got 3 seconds in me on this first new PB. But I think I definitely, I know what I'm looking for here. All we got to do is figure out how to make it happen perfectly. That one's not going to help. I'll tell you that much. But then how do we want to come off this? Off the inside and then just around the horn. Okay. Okay. Good practice. Good practice. I'm telling you, I know you're like, wouldn't it be a meme if he never said another PB? It's not happening. It will not happen. We lay off the throttle too much there. Helps if you land your car. This is a horrible, an absolutely horrible finish. We got like as much airtime as someone could get. But I feel like we should not struggle much getting past these earlier ghosts. Just takes a bit. Keep in mind, you know, 8 minutes in is nothing, dude. There's a lot of times where, like, 8 minutes in, we haven't even 9 minutes in, we haven't even completed the course one time. Much less have a gold medal. Yeah, I'll have you know, I've completed the course 2 times. Oop. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. It's been a wild week for racing, right? I don't follow F1, but imagine my surprise when I booted up Twitter this morning and it said AlphaTauri's Pierre Gasly has won the Italian Grand Prix. I said, what? And then I was like, who's second and who's third? And it was like, oh, you didn't predict? It was Carlos Sainz Jr. and Lance Stroll. I was like, oh yeah, I had that on my bingo card. Somebody, if anybody on Earth put that on their bet this weekend, that is, you're looking at Europe's newest multimillionaire. Without being facetious, I'm pretty sure the odds of that happening are like, you know, 1 in a few 100,000. Okay, there you go. Bro. Okay, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with this speed at the end. Because we're not doing a great job right now of managing it. Maybe it is okay, at least early on here. Maybe it's gonna be better for us to kind of lay off the throttle just a little bit. Just to make sure that we're on the right pace, you know? Hitting the wall is not what you want. So let's see what they do. They get over it. They come over this side. They come over the right side of the ramp, and then they grip it around. Okay. I'm telling you, it's a short track. It's just very fast. We're going to piece together these elements. That is an annoying element, I'll admit for sure. It's not luck. I think it's based on this right here. The closer you land to the center, and the straighter your wheels are when you get there, the happier you're gonna be. But yeah, that's sports. What else is going on? You know, not that much really. Just hanging out. Waiting on the world to change, like John Mayer said. Ugh. Once we get that turn, I'm telling you, this is one where, like, when it rains, it's gonna pour. Like the end of Magnolia. That's a little joke for you film nerds out there. I did watch a film nerd film this weekend. I'm thinking of Ending Things, the new Charlie Kaufman film. My personal take on it, if you have a high tolerance for art house, for example, if you very much enjoyed Schenectady, New York, my suggestion is that you give it a try. I, on the other hand, was very much eagerly awaiting Schenectady, New York, and when I saw it in theaters, I went, what? Not really my scene. And then I watched I'm Thinking of Ending Things, and I was like, oh right, I remember why. Can I tell you, I hate not liking a smart movie. Because it opens you up to the worst kind of bad faith criticism on the internet. People will be like, oh, go back to watching your Transformers films. I don't like Transformers, okay? I like the Avengers. They're two slightly different media properties. When you don't like something that's dumb, you do get bad faith criticism as well. People will be like, oh, you take yourself too seriously. Or like, oh, you know, it's just the kind of movie where you turn your brain off. Oh, okay, Mr. Snob, I didn't realize just because, you know, it's not Citizen Kane, it's not good. But, like, not liking a smart movie exposes you way more. Okay, we want to be right side of the ramp. That was terrible. We did still beat our time, but we can do a lot better than that, obviously. So I hate not liking a smart movie. I definitely, you know, I appreciate the movie, sincerely. I got what it was going for, although I had to, you know, watch a video afterwards to be like, what just happened? I definitely picked up on, like, I was like, this whole thing is obviously metaphorical or, you know, fantastical in some way. But, just found myself, honestly... Look, I don't think all films or art in general is made to be enjoyed. But I was like, I'm not having a good time at all. Not like, ooh, this is a downer, but more like, you know, let me put it this way, the whole movie is essentially 4 conversations. Which, again, is bold in its own kind of mundane way, but I would recommend it if you're into that kind of art house tomfoolery. Is on Netflix, and you know, I'll support a Netflix movie like that. Kind of an arty Netflix movie instead of just like, hey, we got Chris Hemsworth and, you know, put $50 million into trying to make like a C-grade action movie. Now, truth be told, I think I would rather watch the C-grade action movie. But hey, there's only one way to know, right? You gotta try. Okay. That was not good. That was not good. I do know. I was going to say I wonder if to some extent the ghosts aren't screwing me up a little bit here. But I don't know if I could say that in good conscience. But I do think that maybe might be one of those situations where having a... We could have beaten our time there. Having a better ghost to view early could be worth a lot for us. Because this one's all about speed. Any rattling like that, for example, that we're getting early, I think is quite devastating. Let's get some good times up here. It's only 5 ghosts. Always make sure you close the sidebar. Let's see. So they go ahead. Oh, they go right to left. That's weird. Wonder if it gives you like more time on the... You know, I bet it's a weight transfer thing. It's not. Or no, you know what? I bet it's because the track bends. And then they go over the left side. Okay, so this is just, we're going to piece it together inch by inch, row by row. Slightly faster, but we did it very wrong. You can make it in one go, dude! That's huge intel. We even almost did it right there. Now we didn't, and now we're falling pretty far behind. There you go. Then you're gonna just minimize your carbon footprint as you come over here. A little late on that, but still we're gonna beat it by a good time. Okay, okay. So it's an improvement. I'm telling you, if we could get this part... I wonder how you're able to keep that kind of speed going through here. We've still got a chance here. Okay, dude, I can feel myself growing on this track. But are we growing like a trend or are we growing like a fungus? It is, as of now, unknown. So that's the speed you need. Yeah. Had to lay off the throttle there for just a second, but we're learning. Oh. There you go. So you got to... It's about landing quickly. That way you got more time driving, which gives you more speed. That's not a good example of that. Keep it moving, though. You're still practicing these elements at the end here. You want to come off pitch to the right. I don't know if that's pitch or yaw, but... There you go. Oh my. That's no good. But, I mean, dude, we were half a second up there. That's no good. It's okay. It's actually completely fine. One day, we're gonna get that, so it's... I don't know if we have to lay off the throttle in the air a little bit or what. This one's not gonna quite get us there, but again, it's all about getting the practice in. Good grips. Not good grips. Not good grips. So we managed to squeeze 2/10 out of that, but that's not what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Oh, baby. I mean, just keeping pace with these ghosts for this long is a kind of a new position for me to be in. That's a huge lap, dude. And that's only like... I don't think we're that far off of the author on that one. Let me check here. That's pretty good. Trackmania, track of the day. Hold on. I gotta scroll. You gotta constantly scroll. You know what? I can just look at the pinned messages. Author is 21.898. So we're only like 3/10 off of the author. I would say this is definitely... I mean, we're only 19 minutes in. This is a gettable author. And also one of the most obvious cases I've ever seen of the ghosts, like, saving our lives. It's like, this is incredible. Now, I still think we're going to need to have a pretty amazing run. Because that lap that we just got was mighty fine. Like the wine that they drank in that song where Jeremiah was a bullfrog. I don't think it's too much about squeezing it early. I think it's much more about this section right here. Oh, if you can grip it and rip it, you never know there. 2/10, you know, on a track where speed is so important, it's not going to take too much to get there. It's also not going to take too much to make it impossible. Oh, that seemed about right. Oh, we had some speed. We had some extra speed at the end there. I think we just got to have the perfect run. That's not going to do it. This intel, though, dude. My God. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where... Like, there were some times here where I was, like, ahead of the ghosts. These are the best ghosts in the egg card. That's not going to do it. So I think they don't actually go far to the right. They just go a little to the right. That's good enough. Back by a little, but not by enough to be disconcerting. Keep that speed going here. It does look more like that. You go heavy to the inside here. Oh, there was a chance. That one had a chance. I know it didn't look like it. I'm telling you. I could feel the speed in my machine there. That's okay. This is not okay, I think. Yeah, way too much airtime there. It's all going to be about the landing on that one corner. And then also minimizing the airtime right after it. I think those are the two big ones. Minimizing that airtime would help as well, but... I know we're going to get there. I'm not actually frustrated, really. If anything, I'm kind of stoked because this track is like... It's a rarity for one key to the kingdom to just exist that allows me to get up there. Probably still fine here, as long as you make it over the hump. Okay. I like this track a lot, actually. I know it was in like the 6s or something, according to the Discord. You know, according to their ratings, I should say. I'd be more inclined, honestly, for me, this one feels like an 8. What do I like about it? I really like that it's short. I mean, honestly, that's a big part of it. I like that it's pretty much flat out full speed. It's not very inventive. It's not very like visually interesting or anything like that, but that's not what I'm looking for. As a mechanics-driven gamer, this is the kind of thing that appeals to me greatly. That's no good. Skirt? Well. So this is closer to the upper end of the tracks for me, for sure, for certain. In particular, this kind of feels like it could have been on the summer playlist. It's not great. This kind of feels like it could have been on the summer 2020 playlist, which I consider to be a great positive. There are a lot of absolutely garbage tracks. It's a matter of opinion, but a lot of tracks on summer 2020 I'm not a huge fan of. And there's a couple of tracks on summer 2020 that I'm like, these are awesome. This is more what I'm getting at here. And I honestly, you know, is gonna rub some people the wrong way. I kind of like a track that is like unambitious. You know, it doesn't have to be like, check out all the work that we did on the art design. It's just fast. Then you gotta come back this way quick. That one, I didn't feel like we deserved to beat it, honestly. So you... Oh, that's muscle memory. Just wanted to see... No, even at your best of times, you're not doing that. Alright. Even there, we got a little jostling. I still think we can do it, but it is going to require, if not a perfect lap, I guess I don't think it requires a perfect lap, but it's going to require like a lap where everything is stitched together. It's certainly not an author medal where you're just like cleanliness is next to godliness. You're like godliness is next to godliness. So there you go. You want to be as close to that edge as possible. Most of this, I'll admit, is less like, you know, I don't know what to do, and more like the margin for error is so slim. Like there, you know, we're talking about one little nudge of the analog stick. There's a difference between greatness and mediocrity there. And I like this track. Easy track to grind as well. That's a big plus for me. In fact, it's one of the biggest pluses, like the Swiss flag. You might think he's proud of that joke. I'm not proud of that joke. It's just like, at this point, people have come to accept it. Or expect it, I should say. Rip it and rip it, dude. We were in there. We were in there. I think we might have glanced the wall. We got a great landing, though, so I think we got a chance here. Same situation there. We were slow coming in, but that was actually like, I think there's some moments here, believe it or not. I'm not saying it's not a full speed track, but I do think there's a couple of moments on this track where laying off the throttle for just the smallest modicum of time in the air could give you the kind of control that lets you complete a near perfect lap. Maybe not a perfect lap, but a near perfect lap. Which is really all I need. I don't know what happened there. Wish I was more towards the... Oh, no, that's pretty good. Okay, we're still in here. We're still in here. So that's one such moment right there. I think we laid off a lot too much. More than a little too much. Well, it's certainly easy to lose to my PB by half a second. How are you... I don't get it. How are you ahead by 3/10? Maybe it is something about the length of time you spend on the... Like, that certainly looked to keep me a little bit more competitive. Maybe when you're on the... Turning on the boost lets you stay on the boost longer? It's hard, man. This is not a hard track to gold. Maybe not even a hard track to author. But certainly, like, some of the most individually punishing elements. Just because you're taking them at full speed, right? I don't know. If it's stupid and it works, it isn't stupid, I guess. Let's leave it at that. Beauty. Beauty. Don't hit the wall. Don't hit the wall! We were in there. We were in there, my dude. Just gotta get the perfect kind of cadence. That's not the perfect kind of cadence. Yeah, wouldn't recommend getting airtime there, but we're still here. 1/10. It's not that big of a deal. Until it is. They come over here, they rattle around, they come over here. If our wheels don't rattle, we got a better chance there. I'm like, dude, maybe this is like the perfect checkpoint restart. Like this, we got it. I'm not sweating this. This, we got it. You just drive the track. This, we don't got it. The problem is, we're not going to be on that same line in every time. That felt pretty nice. Then you gotta pre-turn that final corner as well. Okay. Alright, so we at least got a little practice in there. You gotta pre-turn the final corner for sure in order to be full speed into the end. I certainly... I think that the world is still gonna give us the win on this one. I think we're still gonna... I predict an author medal. That's not a great start. Thank God we did all those checkpoint restarts. Like, I don't really sweat being down a little right here. Landing like that is the kiss of death, but... I mean, I guess if you could just be up there instead, that is better. Than trying to play catch-up. So we did lay off the throttle, maybe a bit too much. Yeah, okay, but we're, you know, it's a level of, you know, perfection is demanded in order to get the author here. You don't see that too much. Leading a couple of the egg carton ghosts through corner one. Well, I would say laying off the throttle there probably hurt you. Just my honest prediction. Come on, come on. It's crazy to think that was like our old PB. Now it's a disaster of the highest order. Okay, so that airtime is horrible. However, not as bad as that corner was. That's great stuff. That is good stuff right there. My wheels were turned like 1 degree. I gotta be honest, I'm hungry for that author, dude. It has been a time since we have received the commendations of the green, the Irish Spring Medal. I actually, like... Okay, so you can feel the salt pile forming a little bit, because what I was gonna say is, like, I'm actually, like, just give me GPS. Because I feel like we have the whole track understood, you know? We know what we're going for on this track. The only thing is, the transition from the Nightmare Corner to the next little bump, that one's going nowhere. Like, they cross over the apex, but it's like, are they braking as they cross the apex of it? They can't, because they'd slow down too much. So I think there's just a very slim margin of error. This is totally fine. That's better. Beat it by 1/10. Okay. Alright, so it can be beaten. We are in there. It's taking an increasingly long time with each new PB. We only are like 1/10 off here. If we could, well, one in a very small amount. If we could beat our PB by what we just beat our PB by. There's a sentence for you. If we could beat our PB by what we just beat our PB by. Human brain is an amazing thing. We would have it. That's speed. That's speed. It's okay. It's okay. I genuinely, I won't allow myself to believe the opposite. I think we have it. This is not speed. Great landing, though. Like a much smoother landing than I'm used to there. Followed just immediate, like it's just hard is what it is. I think, you know, we have to like turn right on the hump in order to keep our wheels on the hump a little longer. On the lovely lady lumps, if you will. You won't? Okay, fair enough. Like everything about that was good until I lost a little confidence and let go of the throttle. That could have been it. And I don't find myself disappointed by that. Instead, I'm like, you know what? If that could have been it, then this could just as easily be it as well. Consistent on that part. You know, basically just looking to be within half of a tenth. That's just a terrible landing. Skirt. A little bit of that. A little bit of this. Half a tenth, please. Half a tenth. We'll take it. It's as close to a gray split as you can get. More or less. Although it's twice as far away as the closest you could get, I suppose. Oh, we were there too. We just had it. I never thought I would say it. We actually had too much airtime, but like not in the way that actually screwed up our handling. It was just like we literally lost like a little thrust. That hurt because we were balling there. I think we got it. I know I keep saying that, but I definitely am like increasingly convinced we got it. Good split. Rattled a little bit when you landed, touched the wall. That's fine. That's why, again, so many of the things that don't bother me on this track would bother me a ton if it was 57 seconds long. Because it's like 20 seconds long. Stuff that, like, very thin margin of error physics jumping stuff is actually, like, I have a high tolerance for it. Whereas on your average track of the day, they're like, hey, it's got memes and it's a technical track and it's 20 minutes long. I'm like, hey, I get salty and give it a thumbs down, which is immature and juvenile, I'll admit, but I am as God made me, sir. Okay, good run. I don't know if we should be air braking there, but too afraid to mix it up now. I knew we were off. Still a pretty good lap, even though we touched the wall at the end, but I just knew we were off. I think this is your classic lottery track of the day. Gray split. It's not to say that skill's not involved, because it definitely is. It's more to say well, I mean, I guess that's true for every track, right? Like, I try to avoid those truisms whenever possible. You know, whenever people say, like, there's two kinds of people in the world, and then they go, people who do and people who don't. And you're like, yeah, that's the way she goes, you know? You're in rhetoric, you're basically drawing a line that's like, all people in the world can be sorted into two groups. X and not X. Yeah. I mean, if you're not X, then you're not X. You know what I mean? And if you're not X, the question is, who's going to give it to you? But what I was gonna say is, this track more than most, I think the biggest predictor of author metal success, when normalized for skill, is gonna be attempts done. Which again is probably always true. But I don't know. I think like some tracks might be like, oh, you know, the ghosts that you use are the biggest predictor. Some tracks are like, you know, does it fit your style? Bro, we were there. We were there. We got a little too much throttle again. My biggest predictor right now is itchy face. Cats are shedding again. I don't know if other people that grow stubble quickly experience this, but pet hair plus, I mean, you're basically growing like steel wool on your face. It catches everything, right? Like, I use these cotton pads to apply skincare products to my face. Forehead, nose, upper cheeks, no problem. As soon as I get down to like the chin and mustache area, there's like little pieces of cotton just stuck to my face. Almost like that scene from the Jim Carrey Grinch movie where he shaves. You know what I'm talking about. Where'd you get that hack job? Oh, you didn't see it? Lucky you. I saw it in theaters, dude. It was a big movie. I'm not the only person who saw it in theaters. It wasn't a big movie. It was a big movie. Go look it up. It made over $100 million at the box office. People were stoked for it, dude. came out in that weird era of my life where like I saw it in theaters and didn't like it. But then I was like, oh, I gotta have this on DVD. So I did have it on DVD. Probably watched it like 10 times. Didn't really enjoy it any of the times. But hey, you know what? The thing is, maybe that's why I've got such an appreciation for Christine Baranski. So I never would have known who Christine Baranski was prior to The Good Wife if I hadn't watched so much of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey. She plays the mayor's wife. Also known as the classmate that the Grinch had a crush on. Is that Tim Burton? Or is that Ron Howard? I actually don't know. Now, I'll tell you, I really want the author medal today. But time is not a flat circle, you know? It's a dwindling hourglass. I don't have all day to try to get this gold, or this author. I harbor, or I'm trying to harbor, less ill will towards author medals that are difficult. And just accept, like, hey, maybe I'm not an author medal sort of guy. You know, maybe I'm better off just being the kind of guy who's stoked to get a gold. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. What I do know is I want this green. I'm wary. I don't want to make enemies in the Trackmania community. I know many of the people watching these videos by necessity are going to be like Trackmania fans. Dude, we had a chance there. And if you're a Trackmania fan, I mean, it's one of those things, right? Like, this might be your game. You're like, I start every day on the weekends playing the track of the day. I grind it for 2 hours to set a time that's like, you know, top 50 in the world or whatever. And then I'll get on with the rest of my day. I understand that. I'm not trying to take away the sense of accomplishment you get for getting a green medal. All I'm trying to say is share the love. So that was a messy lap at the end there. We're clearly approaching this incorrectly in some way. I'm too busy thinking about the Grinch. Go over the... Yeah, I'm not... that's part of the problem there for sure. So you're gonna get me here. Fair enough. We need to... And I'm trying to get it in my head before the track floods me. When we go over that transfer... Nope, it's gone. I think we need to do it in more of a rush to the right there. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. This is, again, a pretty messy lap. But we're getting a lot more consistent. So I think we need to be in more of a rush when we move to the right. Normally, like, moving your tires like that is kind of a no-no. A new no-no, if you will. This is bad. That was bad. But I think it might be important here. Because, I mean, again, we're not off by a second. We're off by a tenth, right? Maybe 2/10 at most. You want to stay tight here. I went too far to the outside. Then you want to land. You want to pull it back immediately. That one was not... and you might be disappointed there. That one was not going to make it. I could tell our line was screwed up, but we did compensate for it by having extra speed. But that was not going to work for us, but it did teach us perhaps what we might need in the future. I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's more about that heavy transfer that's a little sharper than you'd expect. Yeah, had a feeling that was coming. Skirt. Well, I will say, if we get the author on this, I'm pretty sure it'll set a new record for longest time between gold and author. Unless you consider indeterminate to be a fair measure. But we did get a gold on our very first run on a very short track. And we're, 45 minutes later, still grinding that author medal out. You transfer way faster than you'd expect. A little pre-turn in the air. We're there. We're actually there. And that was not even a good entrance to that little element there. So I think we're there. Now we, again, I'm stealing myself for when this happens. But we may well set a new PB that's just so close to our old PB that it doesn't quite get the author. If it happens, it happens, you know? We'll deal with the psychic trauma as it comes. I'm loving this one ghost that actually, like, botches the early element and just comes back. Like, that ghost right now is my inspiration. He, like, almost hits the wall, and then he's like, no. We're gonna go on to be top 5 in the egg carton. Faster transfer. Okay, that was really good. We touched the wall. We're there. It might take another 15 minutes. It might take another 25 minutes. But we are there. And this is, again, I kind of hate it, but it's what the author medals consistently require on Track of the Day. So much freaking cat hair, dude. Okay, good. Oh, that was such a good landing, too, if we didn't hit the wall. You're turning me into Fall Guys NL. There we go. Little wheel turning, never hurt anybody. This just sends you into the wall. Grip it tight, tighter, tighter. Good. It was actually a good recovery until it wasn't. It's the beauty of a track that only has a few elements, right? It's like taking a college course that, you know, the only thing that matters for your final mark is the final exam. You only got to do well on one thing. Now, if you do badly on that thing, it, you know, screws you. That's the trade-off. But if you do well on that thing, oh, baby. That's the only thing you need. Transfer. Late on the transfer. And when you're late on the transfer, it screws the whole muscle memory for the whole course up. So we're not sweating it. We're not sweating the fact that we hit a wall. I mean, I think it goes without saying. The ideal author medal standard is something that I can hit reliably and easily, and everybody else's standards don't matter to me. Isn't that what is? Everybody's like, I wish the author medal was hard enough that people worse than me couldn't get it, but I could get it somewhat easily. But there's also, can I tell you, there's another fallacy. I don't know what the fallacy is called, so I'm going to call it the philosophy of Pangloss, because it reminds me of the doctor from Voltaire's novel Candide. That's right, I'm not just a YouTuber, I'm well-read. You know, Dr. Pangloss, he's an eternal optimist to the level of absurdity. No matter how bad things get in the world of Candide, he's always got a smile on his face because he, like an idiot, believes that this is, you know, the things that they are is the best that they could possibly be. So there's people who are, like, presently happy with the way that things look in Trackmania author medals. Those people are going to be like, hey, this is, you know, it is what it is. Things are already good. And I'm like, I don't think so, Dr. Pangloss. They could be better if you just, for example, made them easier for me. Well, we're at 50 minutes. Still got high hopes for a living. Shooting for the stars. I didn't get to see it. I don't remember the lyrics. That was a big song, a couple years ago. Remember when the World Juniors were in Vancouver. Couldn't shake a stick without hearing that one. Great entrance. Transfer. Such an unbelievably messy finish to that one. We were up by 2/10, which is amazing. And then it just kind of, it fell apart. Quick transfer. This is a good one. This is a very good one, ladies and gentlemen. Get your Dr. Pangloss out of here. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, socks. See ya.